So I decided to quit my job, and in the meantime of looking for another job, we went to Panama City Beach. It was an awesome trip and we were having a lot of fun. We took the Bronco Raptor and everything was going so smooth until it wasn't. So I wasn't planning on recording a video, but we're down here at Panama Beach and I'm driving down the road and all of a sudden I get a pre-collision warning and a service engine soon light. I have no clue what's going on, but I'm gonna scan the code and see what the issue is. So I'm gonna clear it. The race was successful. So it's still got the code in there, but nothing's popping up right now. I'll drive it around and see. Well, everything seems to be working perfectly fine now. I swear to you all, I've never had a vehicle that's just freaked out for no reason more than this Bronco Raptor. And we literally just crossed 6,000 miles. So we've had it in no time at all. And we've already had a few incidents just like that. But I guess you clear the codes, unplug the battery like we did last time, and it ends up being good to go. But it smelled weird too, so I don't know. So we're down here at Panama City Beach, and we found a VP Racing Fuels gas station, which is so cool, and it actually had the best prices around. I had never seen one of these before, so I had to show you guys. Now there were two issues that I had on the way down as well as on the way back. Now you'll see that hood flutter right there. I was able to track it down and find out what the issue was. It was only happening on the driver's side, and it was right where I'd cut out the shutter system that closes and opens for better aerodynamics to relocate the ACC sensor. And I was also running into the issue of the ACC cutting out after about 30 minutes. So adaptive cruise control wasn't available, and I would have to put it into the normal mode to even get cruise control to work at all, which was super annoying. It's been happening for a little while. I just didn't know what the issue was. I guess it has to be the placement of the ACC sensor now. So I had to put it in normal mode just to get anything to work, like you'll see right here. And luckily it did work, but it's super annoying to have the feature and not be able to use it. And then aside from that, the same issue kept popping up on the way home. It happened time and time again. I would delete it and it would come right back. Well, no matter how many times I delete this code, unplug the battery, look for a loose vacuum line, look for something unplugged, I cannot figure it out. The code keeps on coming back. It's seeming like, at least now, it's letting me rev through it. So I'm just gonna drive through it and see what happens, because there's no way of getting a tow truck out here or anything like that right now. So we'll just see what happens. Today I've got to show you something awesome that a company I've worked with before in the past actually sent out. It's a new product they just started making, a jump starter with an air compressor. Now you guys know that I'm a big fan of jump starters simply because I have to use them all the time on this Rubicon 392. But they also sent out a specific air compressor as well, a portable, easy air compressor that should work pretty good. Now, as you guys already know, I'm a big fan of carrying around a bunch of tools and equipment. So anything that can go together as two products in one is even more beneficial to me. Now with this, of course, it's going to come with an awesome case and really nice packaging. You can see the actual unit itself right here. It's got a light on it right there, different modes, that way you can go through those. It's got an air compressor mode you can press right there. Feels like a decent amount of pressure. Press the mode button again, we can go back to the jump starter. So it's got everything that you need. It's got the attachment right here for the actual air compressor piece, and you simply just screw it in right there. And then you've got an actual latching system, which is extremely convenient. We got our nozzles and connection pieces right here in case you're doing something aside from just a actual tire. And then we've got our jumper cables right here. Now for the jumper cables, it should be pretty simple. Pull this tab up and you simply just plug those in like that. You've also got an output right here, so you can do a USB style charger. That way you can charge up any of your stuff. So it's essentially a massive power bank as well. Then we've also got the specific air compressor right here. Now for this, it's going to come with a charging cable, same as the last one. It's got the different adapters right here. It's got the actual compressor itself, pretty beefy compressor with all of your selections right here. It's got our 12-volt system, so you can plug it in and charge it up in the vehicle, which is extremely helpful. And then we got our air line here. That way we can actually air stuff up. And then you go through your different modes here. You've got a flashlight. It's got different modes on the flashlight. Then you've got your adjustability to set your PSI. And then you've got your power button. So a huge shout out to these guys for sending out another awesome product to test out and keep in the arsenal of products and tools that we keep on every trip. And if you guys want these for yourself, go down to the link in the description below and check them out. So we have an hour and 18 minutes left. And anytime it gets under any load, it starts to do it pretty bad. Definitely much slower, that's for sure. So it feels like we're running on naturally aspirated power, but it sounds like it's got two-step. Oh yeah, that's full beans. That's everything it's got. So there is no boost going into this right now. And here's a look at the boost gauge whenever it's making that noise. It is not building any boost. So it's got to be the boost regulator or something like that. I just cannot figure out what it is. I think it's probably just a bad part. But aside from that, it seems to be taking the abuse of running on no turbos just fine for now. So we'll see if it can make it the rest of the way home. And I literally just got off the last exit to get home, and I turned it off while I was at that red light. And for now, it's working just like normal. But I'm sure it won't last long. So it's definitely going to be something electrical that is cutting out that boost. I literally just drove it that entire way with no boost. It was super annoying. But I'm sure this won't fix it for long. Definitely have a bad part somewhere. We'll just have to track it down and find out what it is. Well, I took it out yesterday and I thought everything was fixed. And then we've driven it probably 30 minutes so far today. And same problem all over again. So I thought it had self-healed, but apparently it's not going to be that simple for this one. So then it sat for about an hour. I go to start it back up. We have the actual check engine light on now instead of just the wrench symbol in the bottom, and seems like everything's working correctly. We'll see on the drive back. Same issue again. And then I just pulled over and turned it off, turned it back on like I did the other day. And what do you know? It's actually working and it's building boost. So it's got to be a connection, a sensor, got to be something like that. It can't be a vacuum line that's loose. It can't be a connection that's completely off. I don't know, but it's got to be a sensor somewhere or an actual module. Now the craziest part about this whole thing to me is that the Bronco Raptor did perfectly fine on the way there. And that took about 8 hours to get there. It had no issues at all. And then while we were down there for the first 2 or 3 days, it was perfectly fine. But on the last couple days of being there, that's whenever the issues actually started. And once they started, they just continued to get worse and worse. Now it always was the same codes, but inevitably those codes would clear and it would run fine for a little bit, and then it'd be right back to the same issue. And on the drive home, it was about 8 hours, and it was happening literally every 30 minutes, every 10 minutes. Then it got down to every time I started it back up, it would instantly go back into that limp mode. So I had no other choice but to drive it. But one thing I was super surprised about on this Bronco Raptor from this trip is going to be the phone holder. Now, ProClip actually sent this out to me to test out, and I've got to say I was super impressed. The install process could not be any easier, and if you do want to take it off, it is super simple. You just pull up there and take it back down just like that. Now, it has 3M right there to really secure that spot in there. That way you lock it in. But it's got a swivel mount on here that can adjust a ton of different ways, and you can adjust this universal mount to hold a bunch of different phones. So they make all this for a bunch of different vehicles, but the one for the Bronco Raptor is just awesome. It just clips in right there, and you are good to go. And with this, you can mount it sideways, you can mount it vertical, up and down. You unscrew these and tighten them back down to adjust where your phone needs to be. So it is a nice secure fit, and it doesn't move anywhere. I was super impressed with it, and if you guys need a phone holder like this for your Bronco Raptor or really anything else, you've got to be sure to go check them out. And it also comes in handy for recording on the inside of the vehicle. So you guys are going to see this shot quite a bit in the future. Huge thank you to ProClip for sending it out. And if you guys are interested in one, the link will be down in the description below. I've tried everything I can on my own to try to figure this out, but I can't. So I'm going to have to take it into the dealership and see what they say. Hopefully we can get the Bronco Raptor situated extremely soon, because I have a pretty awesome video lined up for these two machines. If you guys do want to figure out exactly what's wrong with this thing, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, because I'm going to be following up with another video showing exactly what they find out is wrong with this machine. If you haven't already, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see next. But until then, Godspeed.